What's good, YouTube? It's a Christ Leviathan prophecy. And listen, man, we all heard the news. Kenny Golladay of the Lions, Detroit Lions, have signed with the New York Giants for 4 years. Um, now, do it now. They also made a lot of noise in the offseason, signing, a few deals here and there, signing a defensive end, they signed a tight end, they signed a cornerback. So they did some, laundry here and there. Um, but to be honest with you, they didn't necessarily do anything that um, that they didn't already did. You know, in the offseason, they did not address the offensive line. Now, obviously, will they do it in the draft? Probably. You know, but again, with 6 draft picks, you have to hit the nail on every coffin. You know what I'm saying? Like 3 of your draft picks have to hit right out of the gate. You know what I'm saying? Because if you had 7 draft picks, like it's total to have 7 draft picks, right? Your total is obviously 7 draft picks. Now, sometimes I think that when you have less draft picks to work with, it's not really, it's difficult to actually process all that, you know what I'm saying? Because you're working with less. If the Giants had their 7th round draft pick, then, okay. But, but it's always, it's always a stigma that, okay, you're working with less, all your draft picks have to hit, right? So let's say the Giants don't take an offensive lineman in this draft. Let's say they take let's say, Waddle falls to them at number 11 because of his history, because of his, his, leg injury. Let's say he falls, you know. Okay, so we take Waddle at number 11. And then we go to second pick, third pick, fourth pick, fifth pick, sixth pick, and then sixth pick again. So where will all this unit come from? Not unit, but where does all this talent come from? The Giants are not the best to develop tight ends. We all saw Evan Ingram spaz out. A lot of people are banking on Evan Ingram to be traded. You know, a lot of people think that Kyle Rudolph is a huge upgrade. Which like to be honest with you, I value more of a tight end than a receiver. Like, who would you rather trust on fourth down, third down? Who's more closer to the goal? Like, who's more closer to the line of scrimmage? A tight end or a wide receiver? Who drops the ball the most? A tight end or a wide receiver? Which obviously they both do, but a wide receiver tends to drop the ball more because they're more in the slot. They could be outside wide, you know what I'm saying? So I think a tight end drops the ball significantly of because they're a wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? They like to show out. They flamboyant. They're divas. They're unpredictable. You never know what a wide receiver is going to do. You know what I'm saying? A tight end you can trust. Like they always say, a tight end is your best friend. You know what I'm saying? Because they tight in the line of scrimmage. So they're the ones who obviously you could go do a grow out. You could do a slant in and go out. You know what I'm saying? Like you could do all these formations with a tight end, and that tight end is going to come with it. You know what I'm saying? But to be honest with y'all, this move doesn't prove nothing at all. Like like I said, I'm not too fond about receivers, man. I'm really not. Uh, my two positions that I really like, to be honest with you, is defensive end and running back. That's about it. The other positions can kick rocks. To be honest with you, you know, because in high school I played defensive end and my homeboy played running back. He was the third string running back. I was the second string defensive end. So I know what I'm talking about somewhat when it comes to football. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, man. I mean, it's always gonna be that way. It's always gonna be that way. And people might say, "Well, you don't know what you're talking about. Kenny Golladay is a huge upgrade. What other receivers do we have?" Okay, I get it. That's why you have the draft. So now you have John Ross, which obviously I forgot to mention. You know what I'm saying? Now you got John Ross, you got Sterling Shepard, you got Kenny Golladay, you got Denarius Slayton. So you got a pretty good receiving core to work with. Plus, Saquon Barkley coming back. Plus you got Randolph, Rudolph and Evan Ingram, because I don't think the Giants are going to trade him. You know what I'm saying? I really don't think the Giants are going to trade him. Um, so you can have like a two tight end set, you know what I'm saying, or a three tight end set, depending on what other receivers that you or what other tight ends you have. Um, like Smith, that Smith kid, who was pretty good in the last year, so Smith, Randolph, Rudolph, Smith, Rudolph, and then Ingram can be like a three tight end rotation. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, the move did not wow me. I hope he's productive, because he's also another dude that has injury history. You know what I'm saying? I think he missed 11 or 12 games last year for the Lions. So, hopefully that doesn't come back and wipe us in the ass, because if he misses significant time, it's going to be a problem. So all that money is going to go to waste. You know, thank God we didn't have to give up draft picks. You know what I'm saying? So it was just it was just a swap up. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was an unrestricted free agent. He met a lot of teams. Bengals gave him the highest offer. He declined that. So now he is set for the next 4 years. Um, Now will that equal success? Not really. Because if you look at Odell, now obviously Odell's situation was different. You know what I'm saying? Odell, we drafted him. You know what I'm saying? He had a lot of great moments. A lot of one-handed catches that obviously resulted in L's. But obviously it's a team game. Um, but Kenny Golladay can have one of those 11 touchdowns, 1,000 yards, 73 receptions type season, and the Giants are probably 3-6. You know what I'm saying? Or 3-7, or 4-5, or 4-6. You know what I'm saying? So just because you draft, or just because you have a tight end, or tight end, just because you have a wide receiver, or you pick up a wide receiver, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to equal success. You know what I'm saying? Um, so a lot of Giants fans can say kumbaya and rah rah roy and do all that other stuff, but at the same time, the offensive line is the key, ladies and gentlemen. The offensive line is the key. Y'all missing the big picture. Now, obviously, the Giants are a team that doesn't like to address that position for some reason, Because if the Giants would have went out and picked up two offensive linemen in free agency, I would have changed my mind. I would have said, you know what, the Giants might probably finish second or first in this division. But since they did not pick up one lick of a offensive lineman, scares me. Because now they're just looking through it. Now they're just looking at it through talent. They're not looking at it through a rebuild perspective. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that, sometimes, people have to be very, very cautious about what they say. You know what I'm saying? Kenny Golladay isn't bad. Okay, he's not a bad receiver. I just think that we have more issues than just. I think we just have more issues than a wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? Um, I just think that we have more issues than addressing the wide receiver position. Like, is that our main issue? No, because wide receivers, you could plug them in, you could plug them out. You know what I'm saying? Wide receivers are go-go gadgets. You could plug them in, you could plug them out. You know what I'm saying? You could go anywhere with them. You know what I'm saying? But the offensive line is that one position where it's very hard to actually commit to. A lot of now a lot of people have problems with the offensive linemen. Take the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks have the worst offensive linemen. You see how Russell Wilson wants to get out of there. Because like giving them weapons isn't going to do nothing unless you address the offensive line. If you fix the offensive line plus add weapons, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like Eli Manning's last two Super Bowl runs, he had a outstanding offensive line. Sean O'Hara retired in 2011. We got David Bass from the 49ers. Didn't miss a beat. You know what I'm saying? So when you have that protection, when you have time in the pocket, it's gonna open up Pandora's door. But if you don't have protection, if you still have the same old lazy ass pieces on the offensive line, it's gonna show. Like, I don't care who you got. I don't care if you got Saquon Barkley. I don't care if you got John Ross. I don't care if you got Kenny Golladay. If you cannot get the ball to those receivers and you constantly getting sacked, it's gonna show. Now, obviously, I don't think free agency it's over. We are winding down at the end of March. You know what I'm saying? So maybe free. I don't know when free agency is over. To be honest with you, I think free agency is already over. Y'all can let me know in the section down below, or in the comment section down below, I should say. But if that's all they did in free agency, again, it's gonna turn a lot of heads, man. It gets me wondering sometimes. You know, like why did they? Well, why didn't they pick up an extra offensive lineman? You know, maybe they just waiting for the draft. Who knows? You know, and I will be watching the draft. Um, I was gonna do a mock draft, but NFL drafts are just boring, to be honest with you. A lot of people just watch the first round, and then after that, it's just, or maybe people just watch the first three rounds, and then after that, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, three of your draft picks have to hit. Your first round, your second round, and your third round have to hit. You know what I'm saying? So they will pick a wide receiver in the 11th round. Don't kid yourself. You know, this draft class is wide receiver and quarterback heavy. Not a lot of not not a lot of not a ton of great defensive players in this draft. Maybe one, maybe four. You know, the, you know, but you have a lot of receivers and you have a lot of quarterbacks probably coming off in the first round. So when we pick, maybe Galladay might. I'm gonna say Galladay. Maybe Waddle can fall to us, knowing his injury history. And a lot of teams are not going to, pick him because of that. You know what I'm saying? Concern wise, they're going to bring it up in the draft. Like he could run every route tree. He's kind of like a Steve Smith to us, when we had our Steve Smith, like not the greatest speed, have great separation, have great hands, and that's it. He does have breakaway speed. I've watched him, what I'm saying? He does have breakaway speed. But, again, concern wise, his injury history. He suffered a leg injury towards the end of the season. That obviously, or towards the middle of the season, he was out on IR indefinitely. You know what I'm saying? So that is always going to bring back a lot of, baggage to teams that's drafting a receiver, or that the receiver from LSU. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that the signing is okay, I guess. I'm not too fond of receivers. I really am not. You know, if it was like a defensive end, which we already picked, I don't know if he was a defensive end or a defensive tackle, but we picked him from the Vikings. So, I guess that was a okay move. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just I think we should have just done it through the draft. Probably picked up, you know, offensive lineman, or two, you know. But who knows, man? Who knows? Like, comment, subscribe. But the video will be in the description box down below. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other.